Good morning, children. So, we are back again with part 2 of lesson number 10, the MCC, written by R.K. Narayan. Now, children, in our previous video, we had done the short introduction about the writer R.K. Narayan. Now, as we know, R.K. Narayan used to write wonderful stories based on everyday folk in Malgudi. So, just to give you an example, a couple of books picture I have mentioned over here, and it's Swami and Friends, written by R.K. Narayan, and Malgudi School Days. So, children, these books are also, the stories are also available on the internet, that's on YouTube. So, you can actually go and watch these episodes, or you can say these books. The reason is, children, these stories are amazing. Even now, people keep watching these stories and they love and they enjoy the stories as well. So, yes, now today we are going to start with part 2 of the remaining lesson. Now, before the explanation of the lesson, the first thing is, children, yes, you need to take out your new voice textbook, and today the page number will be 101. You have to take out the book also, the notebook, so that you can also underline and make sure that you're going to note down the important words as well. So without wasting the time, quickly we will start with the explanation of the lesson. Now, children, before we could start the explanation, let us do a quick recap. As we know that Swami and Rajam were actually brainstorming a name for their cricket team. Now, this proved actually to be a really challenging task for them. Now, Malgudi Cricket Club or MCC sounds really a good name. But the question was, if they take this original MCC name which belongs to Hobbs's team, it would be actually not legal, right? So that's the reason they actually thought that now they will proceed further and make a wonderful list of other possible names which could come in their mind. So finally they decided to take a call only after discussing few things with Money. Now Money was supposed to join them next evening. Okay. Now when Money had visited their place, so the three had a discussion on the name for the cricket club. Now, during the discussion, Money and Swami, they actually had a small conversation, or you can say a slight disagreement on certain point, and that's where we stopped the story in the last video. So now, children, we are going to continue the remaining part of the lesson. So we will quickly go through the explanation of the lesson. After this admonition, the hold was relaxed. So, children, over here, admonition means an expression of disapproval. Now, as we know that Money was actually not ready to approve whatever Swami Nathan was actually saying about the bat. Now, Rajam asked, Swami, do you know what the catalog man calls the junior Villard? Now, Rajam actually asked that, Swami, do you know that what the catalog man actually calls the junior Villard bat as? It seems it is the Rolls Royce among the junior bat. So, actually, he wanted to say that junior Villard bat is given the name of Rolls Royce by the catalog man. So, don't you know the difference between the Rolls Royce and the other cars? So he is asking Swami, don't you know the difference between the two cars, that's Rolls Royce and the other car? Swaminathan replied haughtily. Now, children, over here, the meaning of haughtily is in an unfriendly, proud way. So Swaminathan replied, I never said I saw no difference between Rolls Royce and other cars. So now, children, Swaminathan says that yes, actually, he's saying that there is. I never said that there is no difference between Rolls Royce and the other cars. Of course, there is a difference. What is the difference? Urged Rajam. So now Rajam asked Swami, okay, tell us what is the difference. Money laughed and teased. Come on, if you really know the difference, why don't you say it? Now, children, over here, Money is actually laughing and he's teasing Swami. The reason is as he knows that Swami is not able to know or judge the difference between the junior billiard bats and the normal bat. So now he is also teasing him and asking him, "Oh, is it? Do you really know the difference between Rolls Royce and the other cars? So come on, tell us what is the difference." Now, Swaminathan is saying, the rolls cost a lakh of rupees while other cars cost about 10,000. A Rolls has engine made of silver while other cars have iron engine. Now Swaminathan is giving an explanation saying that the Rolls Royce car actually they cost a lakh of rupees while other cars they cost only 10,000. While the Rolls has engine made of silver while the other cars engine are made up of iron engine. So yes, this was the explanation given by Swaminathan. Oh, peered Rajam. Now, children, over here, Rajam is actually, listening to Swami's conversation with great concentration. A Rolls never gives trouble while other cars always give trouble. A Rolls engine never stops. A Rolls Royce never makes noise while other cars can always make a noise. Now over here Swami is elaborating more information on the Rolls Royce car, and he's also saying that Rolls Royce car never gives trouble while other cars give trouble. A Rolls engine never stops. A Rolls Royce never makes noise while other cars keep making the noise. Why not deliver a lecture on the Rolls Royce? Asked Money. Now, as we know, children, Money is already angry on Swami. The reason is Swami is not able to differentiate the between the junior billiard bat and the normal bat. So that's the reason he is telling Swami, why not deliver a lecture on Rolls Royce? That means he's telling him that means you have a good knowledge on Rolls Royce. Now Rajam says, Swami, I'm glad you know so much about the Rolls Royce. I'm at the same time ashamed to find you knowing so little about Villard Jr. Now, Rajam is actually telling Swami that I'm really glad that you know so much about Rolls Royce. However, at the same time, I'm ashamed that you know little about Villard Jr. We had about a dozen Villard Jr. when I was in Bishop Wallace. So Rajam is saying that when he was in the Bishop Wallace team, he had seen about dozen Villard Jr. bats over there. Oh, what bat! That means Rajam is actually admiring Villard Jr. bat. He's saying that there are actual spring inside the bat so that when you touch the ball, it flies. Okay, so what he says is these bat actually has got spring inside so that when the ball touches, the ball actually flies. There is fine silk cord wound around the handle as well. You don't know anything and yet you talk. So Rajam is asking Swami. So that means you don't know much about Villard Jr. bat and still you're talking a lot. Show me another bat which has silk cord and spring like the Villard. So Rajam is telling Swami, okay, show me any other bat which has got silk cord and spring like the Villard Jr. bat. There was a pause after that Rajam said, note it down, Swami. Now, yes, after this discussion on Junior Villard bat and the Rolls Royce car and the other cars, there was a big pause. And Rajam said, note it down, Swami. So Rajam told Swami to note down certain things. Swaminathan noted down on a paper, Villard Junior bat. Now, children, if you look at the spelling over here, it's Vilord, June, June, year, EAR, bat, BAT. Now, as we know, this is an incorrect spelling. Now, the correct spelling is Villard Jr. That's WILLARD JUNIOR. So that's the correct spelling. and looking up asked how many. Now Swami is asking how many Villard Junior bat should I add in the list? Say three. Will that do? Rajam is asking money. Will the three bats be okay? Why waste money on three bats? Two will do. Money said. Why to waste money on three bats? Two bats are enough. But suppose one breaks in the middle of a match, Rajam asked. Now Rajam is asking, suppose if one bat breaks in the middle of the match, then we need one extra spare bat as well, right? So he's asking, we should go for three bats. Do you suppose we are going to supply bats to our opponents? They will have to come provided with bats. We must make it clear. Now, Mani is asking that do you think that we are supposed to supply bats to our opponents as well? That means our opposite team as well. Now, he is saying that we should make it clear to them that they should come along with their bats. Even then, if our bat breaks, we may have to stop playing. Now, Rajam is saying, but still, if our one bat breaks, then we may have to play only with one bat. Two will do, Rajam, unless you want to waste money. Now, actually, Mani is basically arguing with Rajam, and he finally said, two will do, Rajam, unless you want to waste money. So, if you want to waste money, you can order three, or else two is enough. That's what Mani had stated. In about an hour, they selected from the catalog their team's requirement. And then came the most difficult part of the whole affair. That means in an hour, they selected whatever list they wanted for their team. But now the important part was about to come now. A letter to Mrs. Beans, ordering goods. This was actually a very difficult task for them to write a letter to Mrs. Beans to order their sports goods. Bare courtesy made Rajam offer the authorship of the letter to Mani, who declined it. That means the task was given to Rajam to write the letter. The reason is Mani actually said no to write the letter, that I am not going to write any letter. Swaminathan was forced to accept it in spite of his protest, and he sat for a long time, chewing his pencil without producing a word. He had indefinite trouble with spelling, and the more he tried to be correct, the more muddled he was. So now, Swaminathan had no other choice, but he had to actually accept that he is going to write the letter. And he sat for a long time just thinking, chewing a pencil, but he didn't utter even a single word. The reason is he knew that he had a trouble with spelling. And more he tried to be correct, the more muddled he was. So the more he was trying to be correct with the spellings, he was getting more confused. Now, becoming in the end, he sat so thinking of spelling that even such words as the and became doubtful. So he was so much confused that in the end he sat thinking about the spelling, and even single words like the and also became very much doubtful for him. Finally, Rajam took up the task himself. Half an hour later, he placed on the table a letter. So finally, Rajam took the task of writing a letter or drafting a letter, and half an hour later, the letter was actually placed on the table. Now, let us see how the letter was written. Yes, the letter goes something like this. From MCC in the bracket and Victory Union 11, Malgudi to Messrs. Beans, Sportsmen, Mount Road, Madras. Dear Sir, Please send to our team 2 junior billiard bats, 6 balls, wickets, and other things quick. It is very urgent. We shall send you money afterwards. Don't fear. Please be urgent. Yours obediently, Captain Rajam in the bracket Captain. This letter received Swaminathan's benediction. Now, children over here, benediction means a blessing. But Mani expressed certain doubts. That means finally Swaminathan was really, you can say relaxed or happy that finally the letter was being written by Rajam. However, Mani expressed certain doubts. Now, he wanted to know whether dear could stand at the beginning of a letter to a perfect stranger. How can you call Binns dear sir? You must say sir. Now, Mani asked Rajam that Mrs. Beans basically is a stranger for you. Now, how can you call a stranger dear sir? You should have written sir. Rajam's explanation was, I won't say sir. It is said only by clerks. I am not Bin's clerk. I don't care to address him as sir. Now, Rajam explained, he said that I won't call him sir. The reason is I'm not his clerk. That means he is not Mrs. Bin's clerk. And that's the reason he is not going to call him sir, but he is going to call him as dear sir. So this letter went as it was. So yes, children, finally the letter was being posted on the address of Mrs. Bean and the format and everything remained same. So this is how the letter was being posted by these three friends, Rajam, Mani and Swaminathan. So yes, this was the end of the story. So now children, let us quickly go through the value points of the story. As you know, these value points are really important points and these are the pointers for your story. So there are few slides which you need to go through, and these value points will actually give you the idea about the entire story of the lesson. Yes, children, make sure that you are going to read the entire value points and you're going to make a note of important words and sentences as well. Now, children, we will go through the reference to the context. Now, I have given you one sentence or a statement, and let us quickly ask the questions. It is a beauty, I think, he cried, moved by the vision. Yes, I'm very sure you know the answer. Who is the speaker here, children? Yes, the speaker is Rajam. So Rajam is the speaker here. What does he call a beauty? Yes, he calls Jumping Stars as the team name a beauty. Yes, so Jumping Star, he actually liked the name and he calls Jumping Star as the team name a beauty. What vision is referred to here? Now, the vision referred to is Rajam's, where he sees a newspaper report in praise of the jumping star. I repeat, the vision referred to is Rajam's, where he sees a newspaper report in praise of the jumping star. So yes, in the previous video, we had been through this particular statement where Rajam was actually visualizing that he is reading a newspaper and newspaper is actually praising jumping star. So yes, this was the reference to the context. So yes, children, I am very sure that you must have enjoyed the part 1 and part 2 of the lesson MCC written by R.K. Narayan. And yes, it was a wonderful story based on three friends, Swami, Mani and Rajam. Now, the next important thing is, children, you are going to read this lesson thoroughly and going to make a note of all the important points and the important words that your teacher has discussed with you. One more important thing is, below the link we have given you your worksheet link as well. So make sure that you are going to solve the worksheet and you are going to send it across online. So yes children, till that time, take care of yourself and we will meet you soon. Bye bye.